Good evening. This is Mike with Play More Games, back with a night turn of Saipan, the Bloody Rock. So, let's get started. It is the first night in Saipan, so the first thing we have to do is we have to figure out what we're going to do with these units in the final run-in zone. And they're going to land, in most cases here. The threat of the Japanese player has diminished somewhat, at least in their ability to hit the beach hexes. Boy oh boy will I have egg on my face if this comes back to bite me. Okay, so that's there. We're all on the beaches here. Alright, they get to go there, and they get to go there. So the stack becomes DG1, and then here the stack becomes DG3, one for the mixed formations penalty and some for the overstacking. I'm sorry for laughing. My cat has insisted upon getting in my lap here. She can be quite determined. That's actually DG2. Let's just go back here. Yeah, these are all the same formation, so it's okay. There's no formation penalty. Alright. So, approach zone goes back to the transport zone. These will need to be the first units that move out of their boxes towards the beach tomorrow. So one thing I wanted to kind of discuss before we get too far into it is kind of talking about the victory point situation. So currently the Japanese have 3, the Americans have 1. So the Americans, just as a refresher, score every time they're able to take a victory point hex, and they're closing in on a couple. There's one here they're adjacent to, there's one here they're adjacent to, there's one here they're adjacent to. There's one here that there's really nothing in between them and them to get to. So they're on the cusp of quite a few. But in addition to scoring the point as a one-time bonus, they also gain points if they're ahead of schedule, basically, where the numbered day turn you're on is the victory point schedule. So it would be really nice to capture in the next turn or two 1 or 2 or 3 of these objectives if you're the American player, because that will not only give you the 3 victory points currently, but that would give 4 total. It would give an extra 3 bonus points. So something that the Japanese player does need to be considerate of. Now, also, it is the first night on Saipan, so we are able to place stacks into Gyokusai and have them basically charge at the Americans. And there's a couple of good targets. This mortar unit's by itself. Could be quite vulnerable in an assault. These units are by themselves. But then there's some mortars here, there's some mortars here. But then the front line is kind of manned by these big stacks here. This stack here. This stack here does have a tank support weapon, which gives a nice modifier. So it's kind of dicey. This northern flank here is looking pretty thin, though, if they can make it through to here, and because there's an HQ unit that might be nice to take out. But the question becomes, what kind of units do you waste on this? So I had originally envisioned these low quality units here. If we go to the routed units section, there are quite a few here as well, cheap units. So that would be 6 units to send into Gyokusai. But there's also something to be said for fanning out, digging in, entrenching, really playing a slow game as a defender, and making them really, burn up activation after activation to get each one. So as the turn starts, I am definitely undecided as far as that goes. A couple things to note is the firepowers for the Japanese Navy and the Americans is reduced by 2 at night. Visibility is reduced to 1 hex, as is the Japanese Army. Their firepower is reduced to 1 hex. When the Japanese Army, or when the Japanese move from fire zone to fire zone, it does not trigger opportunity fire. That's called infiltration, and it only applies at night. The other thing I was thinking about as the Americans is I feel like I can take this hex with a prepared assault. They have a nice stack here, and they have 2 other units here. So what we could do is we could use this blue formation to do a prepared assault on this hex here. We have some mortars that could fire in support. So at a cost of 3 dispatch points, we could get some modifiers. I believe it was like 17 to 8 there. And even really just placing the prepared assault marker down is going to force the Japanese player to make a choice whether they stand or they leave. I don't know. If they don't stand here, where do they stand, right? So we'll see. With all that being said, let's get started. No reinforcement points. Oh, and the Japanese player has not used their sake yet this turn, so I will make sure to use that for them before the end of night 2. So the first thing we'll do is we'll spend dispatch points. So for the Americans, like we talked about, we're going to purchase the blue formation shit there. So we'll throw that right in. And since it is a night turn, we want to make sure that we have enough points to do everything we want to do, including placing that prepared assault marker. So we'll hold off on that and spending any more from them. The 2nd Marine Division, they do have some decent attacks lined up. We're going to purchase this this yellow company chit because they are actually knocking on the door here and here. So we want to try and get one or both of those this turn. That would be really huge. Alright. So we'll spend the point. Alright. So for the Empire of Japan, the unfortunate thing about these are all division level units. Putting in a division shit at night causes your fatigue to increase by 2. partly because of the increased amount of time these night turns represent. So it is an interesting question, but should we if we want to put these units into Gyokasai, can we activate them Actually, I guess it's technically a Banzai charge. I've been using the term Gyokusai quite frequently. I guess we should decide now. I guess it won't necessarily be the turn this turn. I think we'll hold off, see if we can get any more dispatch points. We'll do the same for the Navy. So no chits for the Japanese. So dispatch points, 2nd Marine Division. Nice. They get 3, so they'll be up to 5. 4th Marine, they get 1. 43rd, they get 1. 47th, they get 1. And Navy, they get 1. Navy will have to spend some to avoid capping out. Alright, with all those spent... Oh, I should have lowered for fatigue. So, each division that didn't put in a chit recovers 1 point of fatigue. So the Americans are done. Alright, and Japan is done. Alright, now, there's no reinforcements. And no interrupt to begin. So let's pull a chit. Direct command. Alright, 43rd. Boy, oh boy. We go to 8. 47th. And the Navy. Okay. Navy's going to work on their trenches, so they'll try here. No. And then 1, 2, 3, left to right. Got left. Okay. So that was 4. Okay. Thus spake the Navy. Alright. So the 47th will return a unit there. That's going to prevent the Americans from just waltzing in there. Unfortunate for them. One, 2. 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3. Got it moving along the road. Actually, what I'll do is I'll move this unit in here, keep the leader with it. No sense in wasting a good pillbox at the top of a hill. Alright, so that was another 2 points. And that really kind of stinks because they're almost out of points. We'll try trenches here. Got those. Alright, I don't want to spend any more. That was a really poor roll for them. Alright, the 43rd. The 43rd. I guess they'll take a crack at these guys here. So these two against those. No go. Let's see. We'll rally off one of these. I guess we'll get rid of that too. That's an important one. Spit these out. 1, 2, 3. Alright, and we'll roll for a reinforcement group. No. I do not want to bring those reinforcements on board. Alright. Japanese direct command done. Navy support. So let's see. Let's go here. Here. And here. Alright. So the -2 for night, it doesn't specifically say, but I'm thinking that it does apply in this case, because it just says fire, and this is certainly fire. Alright, so no scatter since they're all adjacent, but we'll start with this one all the way in the north here, 37, 36. So the defense value of the terrain is rocky, so it's -2. There's no fortifications, so it's -4. So it's a 3 strength from indirect fire attack, which is not going to get anything done, except placing I believe a 3 will get me a light barrage marker. Yeah. Light is 3, medium is 4, heavy is 5. I believe that's how it goes. I'm sorry, this is one of those rules that I look up every time. And one of these days I will learn to trust myself, but not today. Alright. Same modifiers here. Through strength, indirect fire. Nope. But we also get a light barrage. And then here, this is actually a 2 strength. And we got the 2. So DG R. DGR. Ooh. I got an 8, so now I have to count it out. Alright. I really wish route checks were on the table, but they're not. Alright. So case A does not apply. So we have a die roll of 8, modified to the 6 for terrain for case B. The defensive value of the unit becomes a 5. So our final die roll is 5. Our troop quality is 4, and that is +2 for the colonel. 6. So it passes. The only thing that was going to stop it was a 9, and we just missed. But we did get a little. We got that DG. They just rallied off back. Okay, that's the naval support chit. Next up, wind. Okay. Next up, yellow company. So we have this stack here. This unit here. These here. All right. So, here's what I'm thinking. We are going to... We're going to bring up this stack. We're going to move them right into here. We'll rally this off. We have our yellow leader. We're gonna place a prepared assault marker here. We're gonna do these night assaults, and we're gonna see how those work out for us. So hopefully on the next turn we'll be able to pull that off. We'll see. So to get ready, we want to have these firing in support. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 hexes away, so that's good. I haven't done an assault in a really long time, so I just have to refer back to, because I think there's a maximum of indirect fire units the U.S. can fire, 3. They have to all be stacked together. So I guess the HQ company can rally that off. 1, 2. And we can also attach support weapons. So we will attach this tank weapon to there. Can get to there. And let's see. I think there's a hero that comes out. Yes, Sergeant Timmerman. He can save a tank from the 2nd Marine Division from being eliminated. So let's see. I'll pay my dispatch point. These guys, they can go 1, 2, 3. Kind of continue to beef up the odds there. So now, if we just do a formation activation, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1. I can almost guarantee you I would, well, I don't know if I would move out or reinforce. That's a good question. I guess we'll have to see. 2nd Marine doesn't have any other yellow company support weapons they can attach, but they will move out here. So maybe when we put that shit in, we can take a shot, at least one shot at it. Okay. Alright. 25th Regimental Combat Team. Okay. So we're definitely going to plow ahead with the prepared assault. So we're certainly getting aggressive to take these points. Let's remove that so we don't forget. Let's see, are these 5 hexes away? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Let's still move in. HQ will round that down for us. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this whole thing gets a DG2. and the infantry company will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gets a DG2 as well. By moving them out instead of standing there and rallying them, you know, you certainly make it more expensive, take up more actions to get back into fighting shape, but you know, when you're being aggressive and trying to, you know, take chances, it is what it is. Alright, so we can do some combats. I'm not sure how well they'll work, seeing as it's night, but let's just try this one. So we'll give you a concentrated fire marker. Alright, and one of those will deploy. So 5, 6, 7, 8. -2 for night, -1 for defense of the unit, -1 for foxholes is 4. And that is a sugarcane hex. So it's -1 for 5, so 8 minus 5 is 3, so 3 or fewer. 1. Very nice. So a 1 on the yellow is DG R*. Now, they have a lot of modifiers to their troop quality, so it would take a very high roll for this to fail. 7. Yeah, I think that's a pass, but we're better off just running through it really fast. Alright, so 7 dice as it becomes a 6. 5 for terrain. They have a +2 for the leader, which is a 6. -1 for the unit. Yeah, they pass. No harm in trying. And then this one here, they'll try and soften up our assault hex. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to omit opportunity fire or concentrated fire, because we'd like to have a fire zone just in case they do try and move out and retreat. Something could have been said for doing the same with the unit I just shot with, in case they decide to reinforce, but what's done is done. Alright. So, again, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this stack is -1, -1, minus... actually, I don't know if the +1 for the prepared assault... add or subtract any status markers on both the firing and defending unit that may apply. Well, I actually think that that is meant for the Americans, for opportunity fire for the Japanese. I don't think that would benefit them here. So I have -2, -3, 4. It's 2 for night, 2 for terrain, 1 for foxholes, 1 for the unit, -6. And just to run it back, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 minus 6 is 3 or fewer. No go. Let's see how many direct commands I have. Not a whole heck of a lot. Best to save them. Alright. There we go. So, 2nd Marines. Fourth Marines. Okay. Alright, so that same attack, 3 or fewer, no go. The same attack here, 3 or fewer, concentrated fire still. Nice. That is a 2 DGS. And that cost 5 direct commands. Let's see. We'll give this unit here a tank support weapon. So, combat against this unit here. 5, 6, 7 for units, 8, 9 for the tank support weapon, 10 for concentrated fire, -2 for night, -2 for the building or town hex. So 6 or fewer. 1. And that is on the yellow. DG R star. I was hoping to kind of suppress it or pin it. R star. Route check rolling now. That's going to be a pass. So that's another 3 direct commands. Let's try this here. There's some pretty powerful modifiers. Alright, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for concentrated fire, -1 for the ridge is 8, +3 for the defensive value of the unit is 11, -2 for Rocky is 9, -2 for Knight is 7, so 7. 5 or fewer is 2 DG R. Pretty much they're only going to fail on a R result, I think, or 9 result. All right, let's just run it through. All right. They rolled a 7. Die roll becomes a 5 due to the terrain defense modifier. +3 for the defensive value of the unit. So it becomes an 8. Troop quality is -1 +1. Or -1 +2. Actually, so that is a fail. They are deployed, so they are routed. Good fortune for the Americans. They're I'm going to go here. Okay. Let's see. Now these guys could go 1, 2, 3, and take that victory point. I'm trying to remember what else is in the display. What's in the cup here? There's one more chip, both the direct commands. The event chip, I think that's all that's left. I was kind of thinking about pushing this towards Eslido Airfield. Let's not waste good fortune. 1, 2, 3. I probably could have sent fewer units, but that's a choice. It's a choice that I made. And let's grab the victory point before I forget, because I feel my brain in the process of forgetting. So that's 2. Okay. Very good. Alright, yeah. That is it for that. Do the event shit. A 4. What is a 4? Japanese martyrs. Place a Gyokusai marker on any hex that has a Japanese leader on it. Well. This is tough. I guess I'll do this guy, since these mortar sections are kinda useless at this point. Alright, so the next time they activate, they are going to move and move and move until they get to some Americans. And I think that they have to I've been kind of forgetting about ridge markers, but oh well. Just remembered that. I never said I was perfect. Okay. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember, because I haven't done a Gyokusai charge in a really long time as well, since the last game I played was the Little Land. I wasn't in that game, and the game I played before that was Tinian. It was also not in that game. Yeah. I don't really get to choose. I mean, I'd like to try that hex and throw them back, but I think it'll probably end up being this hex. Alright, so that's the turn. So let's go right into another one, since that was pretty quick. So this is night 2. Let's see. Spending dispatch points. We're going to buy both of those formations that we played last time. So the yellow. Yep, they're still there. But for Japan, I think we will. You know what? Let's get nutty with it. Let's do it. Let's declare this the Gyokusai, the mass Banzai charge turn. Let's go for it. Should we do it? Should we do it? This stack, this of course, 7. Yeah, why not? 10 maybe? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Alright, so we're gonna buy the division shit, and that's going to drive up their fatigue too, which is fine. They have plenty of room to work with. Unlike the Americans, they have to be driven up to 7 before they see any ill effects. And let's do the same for the 47th. Yeah, that's good. Do I have any poor quality Navy units I want to use? Excuse me. No. No. So no naval shit, so we'll drop them yet again. American fatigue goes down 1 each. Alright. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Alright, so American dispatch. 2nd Marine. No. 4th Marine. Yes. So they're both at 4, which is nice. 43rd. Nice. 47th. Just 1. Navy. I don't know what it is about the Navy, but they're doing really well. It's time to start spending those, otherwise they're just going to get wasted. No reinforcements. So let's assemble the cup. Alright, so we've declared the mass Banzai charge, which basically means when I activate, I can basically place a Banzai charge marker for free, which is pretty cool. So here we go. Alright, start with the big bad 43rd Infantry activation. So, let's put all of these units under a Banzai charge. Excuse me. And these as well. Let's try to bring on reinforcement group A. Nice. So we got one. Don't necessarily want to Banzai those guys because they have a decent firepower. But it is nice to have another white stripe leader just in case anything happens to the one we got. Alright. And this is a pretty low quality unit as well, so I will toss a marker, a Banzai marker on that. Now, Banzai is a little bit different than Gyokusai, to my understanding. In that they don't have to okay. So I'm kind of getting a little, I'm kind of treating it like a Gyokusai marker, and I shouldn't be. I should be placing these markers where I want a Banzai charge. So what I should be doing is going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Banzai. Alright, so this unit can opportunity fire, as well as, well, indirect units cannot opportunity fire. So this unit can, and this unit can. So let's see. Oh, okay. Defending units in that hex being assaulted only may perform opportunity fire, so there's no opportunity fire possible. Which sucks for them. But Americans shouldn't have left this opportunity open. Alright. So let's go modifiers, right? So it's 3 to 1, so it's 0. No tanks, it's assaulting. Troop quality bonus is 3. There's no status markers for troop quality. no leader or heroes, no friendly and defect fire, and then troop quality, which is 5, so that's 8. So I'm just going to write down type 8. Defender, 1 for terrain, right, so they have a positive modifier, so that's -2, so it's their die roll is -1. No tanks defending. No leader. Troop quality is 6, so it's 5. So 8 to 5. Alright, so we roll 2 dice. Alright, so Japan first, then Americans. So 13 to 9. So that is 4 DG. They got pretty lucky. I'm thinking maybe I send these guys around. Do the infiltration rules. There's no opportunity fire. So what I'll do is I'll bring this one up here so we don't lose the marker. The trench marker, I should say. I'll just flip these over so we remember. We'll do a Banzai here against these units. Again, no opportunity fire. Oh, well, actually, they're on their flip side, so they can opportunity fire. So let's try that. No. Yeah, they're 2 plus 3 for the Banzai marker. Or no, it's 1 plus 3 for the Banzai marker is 4 minus 2 for night. So no luck. Alright, so the modifiers are instead of 8 to 5, they are 6 to 5. So we'll do Japanese and then Americans. Not good. Actually, these are all eliminated. Let me just go through it and make sure. So -2, no tanks. +1 for troop quality. KC does not apply. No leader. No indirect fire. So it's 1. True quality is 5, so it's 6. So they rolled a 1, which is a 7. The Americans are at a 4. The hex is 1. -2 is -1. No tanks. No status markers. No leaders. 5. And they rolled a 4. So it's 7 to 9. So 2 of these are eliminated. It's the way she goes. It was worth a shot. Lessons learned. Bring a leader. For sure. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's see, what else can we do? We'll remove the suppression there. Move into here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go foxholes. 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 Huh. Foxholes. Okay. So kind of feel like I threw away some units there, but the mortar units are a good opportunity. They're a good target to hit. They can opportunity fire, you know. It's the way the dice go sometimes. And it feels like so far through one day that the dice have been going the Americans' way more often than not. But company scale is a game that throws a lot of dice. So over the course of the campaign, that should even out. Okay. Event. Let's roll. 6. I think that's Japanese infiltration. Yes. Six yellow firepower attack for an American occupied hex that isn't in a fire zone and is within 3 of Japanese unit. So the highest DGs I see, that's not this one, is this one, or is 2s. And this one has the highest stacking. So let's hit that. So 6 yellow, no modifiers. 4. Let's see how bad it is. 4 is 3 DGR. So that would eliminate 1 unit and cause a route check on the others. Oh wait. Hold on. I haven't spent my sake. So let's re-roll that Japanese assault die before I even decide what to do with that. That's more like it. So if the Japanese lost 2 units, this would instead make, by adding 6, I get those 2 units back, and then I take, let's see, alright, so that's 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. That's much better. Alright. Now, what to do here? Alright. I think what I'll do is we'll use Emerson to disregard Epperson to disregard the result. That way we don't have to consider using a unit or losing a unit and taking a potential route check on another. Sucks to have to use him on the first day of the campaign, but it is what it is. Fortunately, these are all division level units, so I can't activate them in a formation. I don't think. No, there's no white stripe. Yeah, they're white stripe. Yeah, I would love to see a direct command, Japanese direct command, come up here. No. All right. So it is time to assault. So let's get everything ready for our assault. So we've deployed the HQ. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which, is there a radius in this? Yeah, there we go. That's our command radius. All of those units in that formation, the 8th Regimental Combat Team formation, are now in command and can do second actions, which is great. You want that. You definitely want that. Alright, so these will all flip. So fire and support here. Alright, so let's lead it off. So we'll go back to our assault table. So the first thing we do is we do fire these. We do apply the results. So it's a 5 strength modified by a 2 for night. And then 2 for the defense value of the terrain. So it's a 1, 0 or 1. 0. Very nice. So that is a DG. Boy, probably would have gotten away. DGS. I mean, you don't know how these things are always going to play out, but I wonder if this assault would have been necessary. We'll see. Alright. So now we'll go through the modifiers. So the odds ratio. So 2, and we're only counting the yellows here. 2 infantry companies there. 3 there. So that's 5 to 2. So that rounds to, oh man, I am bad at math. 2.5 to, alright, 2 to 1. So minus 1. Plus 2 for tanks, so plus 1. Plus 1 for the prepared assault, it's 2. There's no status markers on the units. So we are still at 2. Leader brings us to 4. 3 for the indirect fire units is 7. 6 for the troop quality. So it's 13. So I will write it down. That's a pretty nice modifier. 13. Now the defender. So 2 for the town. No defense values for the unit. No tanks. They have minus 3 for so minus 1 for troop quality. They have no leader. So minus 1 plus 5 is 4, so 13 to 4. I guess they do get to opportunity fire first. So let's see. Oh, 0. Ooh. DGS. That does change the arithmetic. What will have the biggest impact? I guess it's the same. This one. So they cannot participate. So now, instead of a 2 to 1, it's a 1 to 1. So let's just run it through again. Alright, so 1 to 1 is minus 3. Minus 2 for the troop quality. 0 for Colonel Wallace. 3 for the motor units, and then 6, so it's now a 9 to 4. So it did have a big impact, but will it be enough? So attacker first, 9 plus 7 is 16. 4 plus 1 is 5. No, it does not make a difference in the end. So they are eliminated. They are eliminated. They advance into the hex. They get a victory point. All right. So now we can continue. Have to be pleased with how that went for the Americans, for sure. So we'll try here. So they are, I'll flip one, and do concentrated fire. 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll target here. So it's 8 minus 2, 6. Two for knight is 6. 2 for rocky is 4. Plus 3 is 7. So 7 or fewer. Can't let the Americans run away with things, huh? Alright. Rough turn, rough night for the Japanese, for sure. Okay. Wind. I don't think there's any. I guess technically there should have been a smoke here, but that would have had no effect. I could have done second actions with those guys. And maybe I should have, but the moment's gone. 47th Brigade. Now let's see. Now this is tough. But I do believe. Alright, let's just start with the rally here. This is tough, but I think that that discretion is the better part of valor here. And I think I'm feeling like we should pull back and try and defend the airfield. Because I feel like we're going to lose this one way or another. Americans have the leader. They'll have their mortars. It's looking like a lost cause. You hate to give up, though. I guess ultimately what it comes down to is this where they make their stand, or they join their peers. I mean, I think it's probably best to join their peers here, because these units, they can really put on some hurt, and if they're stuck fighting these units, they're not, they're getting shelled by their artillery. Yeah. No, that sucks, but alright. So opportunity fire. Nope. I gotta spend the direct command there. Oh wow. They have like no direct commands. Opportunity fire, no concentrated fire. Yellow company. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. -2, -4 is 3. Yeah, that's a success. DG R star. R star. Pass. This company here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Man, what was I thinking? They're not gonna make this. 4. Alright, so that's 7, 5. Oh, the trenches would have been there, so 4. Man, this was a stupid idea. 4 DG R. Thankfully they passed that. Yeah. Oh boy, that was stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll go directly there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Ugh. If you're watching me, don't do that. Alright. Let's see if we can do some damage. 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be 7. 8 for defensive value of the unit. 9 for the support weapon. Since they're all in column, I get to choose. 8 for knight. 6 for Rocky. So that's actually a pretty good shot. So 6 or fewer. Poof. 5 yellow. 3 DG R. Alright, route check. Pass. These guys flip. These guys will take a crack here. Basically need a 0. No. And that does put smoke down. It's tough, because depending on how things go, on the direct command shit, if they fire again and get a good result, then they could potentially cause some casualties, or even take this hex back. And if they take this hex back, it's worth 2 victory points. So maybe sprinting up here was not the best idea if I wasn't going to be able to hold it. I don't know. Alright, this guy is active, so he has to move closer to an American unit. So we'll go there. And we'll attack here. It's not going to go well. But we'll do it. It's Gyokusai. Have to. Alright, so attacker. Odds are 1 to 1. So that's -3. No tanks. Gyokusai makes that as 0. No status markers. +2 for the leader. Oh, we can fire one of these. I think Japan has a maximum of 1. So we'll roll it. No. So that's 3, and this division's true quality is 4, so they're at a 7. And the defender, terrain defense modifier is going to be 2. So plus 2. Defense value of 1 unit. Support weapon's not a unit. So 2 for tanks is 4. No status markers, no leaders. Troop quality is 6, it's 10. So 7 to 10. So Japanese roll, American roll. So that's 12 to 11. Not bad. So they get a single disorganized marker placed on them. So that unit fired. Let's try targeting this unit with this one. So that's 3, minus 2 for night. Yeah, no go. Do get smoke out of the deal. Deploy that. And then this one. Yeah. I think that's about it. 1, 2. Now let's keep going. 2, 3, 4. Let's do a Banzai. I haven't learned my lesson. Actually, could I... Can I move a leader there? Leaders. I don't know that there actually is a no stripe or white stripe leader. Unless he was eliminated previously. That's alright. Okay. Actually, let's try that. Still get a negative modifier for having only tanks. And yeah, alright. So, attacker. 3 to 1 is 0. Plus 3 for true quality is 3. No status markers, no hero. I had the 1 remaining indirect fire unit. No go. Place smoke. So 4. And then for troop quality is 8. Terrain defense value is 1. Defense value of units 0. A -2 is -1. No status markers, no leaders or hero. True quality is 6, so it's 5. So it's 8 to 5. So Japanese roll, that's very good. And then the American roll, that's very bad. So 16 to 8, that eliminates this unit. Wow. Good for them. I probably should have included the -1 on their units for troop quality, but wouldn't have changed the result. Oh, they did get to opportunity fire though, which I didn't do. So let's do that. So it's 6 minus 2, which is 4. 4 or fewer. Oh, it's a 3. So 3 DG R. So again, that would reduce the troop quality again. So that would make it 14 to 8. Still not going to do anything. So route check. Pass. Yeah, that unit's still gone. So the Japanese will get a victory point. And that was not a fortuitous sequence of events for the Americans. And the Americans, the casualties are kind of starting to creep up here. They've lost 3 infantry companies, a tank section, and they used one of their heroes. So, yeah, they're on the cusp of losing potentially another 3 units, depending on what happens. Because they can continue to place Banzai markers at any point during this turn, so even on the direct command shit. So they could certainly lose these units, and that would really put them in a pickle. So the Americans might have spread out too far too fast. Certainly there's not a lot of units down here, but the second Marine Division continues to struggle. Alright. We can roll for trenches for these really quickly. So 1, 2, and 3. No. Okay. Yeah, that's about all I wanna do right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These will continue to wait. Will continue to hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No free lunches. We're going to contest every victory point. Alright. So next shit. The Americans are really hoping for their direct command shit. They could priority play their formation shit just to take a little bit of the pressure off. But boy, oh boy, I don't know if they should. Let's just pull the next one. We'll see what happens. Oh, Americans are breathing a sigh of relief. 2nd Marine Division, 4th Marine Division. Okay, so 7 for the 2nd Marines. Max them out. They certainly need it. And then 6 for 4th Marines. So let's keep this open. Alright, so let's suss out the 4th. We'll get rid of that. So let's get deployed. And we'll reduce that. So let's put some fire on this hex. One of them rallied, so only 2 can participate. So that's 6, 7, and I don't think there's a leader there. No, there's no leader there. So 7 minus 2 for night, plus 1, 5. 6, 2 for Rockies, 4 fewer. 1 on the yellow. DG R star. Ooh, that's a fail. So alright. So since one was deployed and one was not, the defender chose this unit, which has a smaller defensive modifier, negative defensive modifier. So since it's deployed, it would become pinned. So this probably saved this unit from any potential embarrassments. So that's 3. Here's another 3. And the Americans score another victory point. There's nothing really pressing down there, and I don't want to spend down to 0. Up here, though, we definitely have some good stuff we can do. So we'll reduce that, and we'll reduce that. So that's 2. Let's put some fire here. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8 for defense value, 4 for night, and, well, 2 for night, 2 for Rockies, 4, so 4 fewer. 0, perfect. 0 on the yellow, I believe, is DGS, 2 DGS. Yeah. We definitely want these guys suppressed. So that's going to... That's going to go a long way to protecting this mortar section here. as for this one, let's try the same philosophy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Concentrated fire is 10. -2 for night. -2 for Rocky is 6 or fewer. Whew, big result. 5. 3 DG and then R. Uh, 6. That's going to be a pass. Well, they have -2 for their troop quality. Let's just do the modifiers out. Terrain defense value. So the die roll was a 6. Terrain defense value 4. Oh, actually, the hex will be pinned. That's actually a fail due to the -1 troop quality for the unit, -1 for the DG marker. That actually protects them as well. It's a pretty good sequence there for the Americans. Alright. One, two. I could have done that to start, so that's 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so this unit will attack here. So it's 5, 6, 7. Concentrated fire 8. 11 for this. 2 defense for terrain. 2 for night. 7 or fewer. 1 on the yellow is DG R star. So R star. Pass. So it takes 1 DG. Okay. So that is another 2 units. Alright. That's a lot of direct commands. Let's save some. Okay. Navy support. So 3. Let's see. Definitely want to do here. And then we'll target our vulnerable hexes here. So we'll start with this hex here. So that's a 5, which is -2 for night, -2 for terrain. So it's a 3, and I don't think defense value of the terrain and fortification defense strength. So that's a 3, which is a light barrage. And then here is a 2, which I actually think is going to be a DGR. Pass the route check. And then here, again, a 3 or fewer. Got to get our light barrage out. And we got the 3. 2 DG. And then R. 4 is a pass, however. This will go quickly because I don't think 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think they're going to get up to any combats this turn due to the activity last time. So we'll remove that. Little 1, 2. Two, 3, 4. Yeah. I definitely should have just stayed there because now they're back on top of them with nothing to really like, they haven't built any terrain defenses. They still have their disorganized markers. It was a bad idea. And I shouldn't have done that. I know for next time. That's for sure. Alright. So that's that entire division. I could do a second activation and try and finish these units off. I don't know how many direct commands I have. I have 3. Honestly, eliminating the unit is totally worth it, so let's give it a shot. So they are at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. -2 is 7 for knight. Yeah, that'll do them. That's for sure. All right, so they are eliminated. This will go to the reallocating box. And now I need to find a green company. Yeah, here. Lessons learned. Okay. Japanese direct command. All right. 43rd. Well, they get a healthy amount of chits at least. 3, 5 is 8, so they go up to 10. 47th. 3. They go up to 4. Navy. 2 plus 1. 2 plus 2 is 4. So they go up to 12. Okay. Let's see. So we will remove that, and we will remove that. That cost us 1. I will have learned my lesson, and we are going to dig in immediately. For 1. These guys will try and make trenches. They fail. Yeah. This unit will Gyokusai down there. So they are 1-to-1, which is a -3. The reason I'm doing this is that the Americans are not, because they don't have a fire zone, they're not going to be able to opportunity fire. So 1-to-1 is -3, +3 for Gyokusai, +2 for the leader, 4 for the troop quality is 6. And the Americans have -2, -1 is minus 2, or 2, 4, 10. No, this isn't wise. Now that I've done the modifiers, it's just not wise. Reduce that instead. There. Remove the suppression there. We'll remove the pin to there. We'll roll here. We'll need the lucky 0. Nope. We'll wait for a division to start entrenching these guys. I definitely want to save some of the command points. As far as the Navy goes, there's unfortunately no one in range. Let's do 1, 2, 4 trenches. Got him. Didn't get the other. Okay. Alright. Yeah, okay. So that is the end of day 1. And let's just make sure that, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So Japan should have 4 victory points. Oh my gosh. There we go. Americans have 4 victory points. Americans get 3 more. So they go up to 7. And that is for having 3 more victory points than the conclusion of the current day. So definitely, Americans are off to, overall, a very nice start. That's for sure. Yeah. So this was a long turn, and it's going to be a long video. So let me just wrap up pretty quickly by saying that I feel like the Americans continue to catch all of the breaks. All of them. Which is, of course, great for them. But for the Japanese had a combination of poor rolling and regrettable choices, which you can blame. The fault lies with their commander. Down here, obviously, they should have just stayed and died. Tried to make things a little bit more costly. As we head into day 2, the Americans will get a 3rd division, which honestly right now doesn't necessarily really feel like they need a 3rd division. I can land this division at either beachhead, which is nice. There's lots of room down here, so I think what this division will end up doing is actually, I think this division will end up just clearing the road here, and because they have the most room to move out, and we'll land the, is it the 27th? The 27th Infantry Division will land them behind them, and we'll meet up with the 2nd. We'll bring these engineers down to get Aslito Airfield operational. But yeah, overall the 4th is in a very good place. They do have, although there are some pretty powerful units, especially down here. Regrettably, they don't have a ton of range. Like, this is blocking terrain, this is blocking terrain, these are blocking terrain, so they really don't have a ton of range. They are powerful though. These are nice units. Like, crossing the airfield would be a bad idea. But there are a lot of units up here, and they're entrenching. I'm going to try and get some of these guys into caves to make things even more difficult. Basically, the name of the game at this point, the Japanese were not able... I mean, I feel like the Japanese did overall a decent job containing the 2nd Marine, and that's a combination of poor dice rolls by the 2nd Marine and bad timing. It was very unfortunate that both groups were landing at this hex, which prevented a lot of that stuff from onboarding. A lot of wasted actions rallying off stacking and formation penalties, or just holding the units up altogether. The artillery units that were here and the tank units that were here were fortunately eliminated by, we had a lot of air support early in the day, which was very nice, and we had a lot of direct commands to spend all those air support shits on. Otherwise, this division landing may be a different story. There may be another 3 or 4 infantry companies in that dead pool. But I couldn't imagine trying to bring on a whole other division at this point, because there's a lot of units here, there's a lot of units here, there's a lot of units here. We can't bring these tanks up over these ridges. They would basically have to redeploy. They can only follow these roads here. So we'll lose some of our more powerful support weapons. That's why I'm going to try and send them up the road. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're the Japanese, it's time, I think. They weren't able to really... I mean, if things had gone just as well down here as they had up here, I'd be feeling a lot more confident as the Japanese player. So I think at this point, it's going to be trench hexes, foxhole hexes, rocky terrain, lots of stuff to climb through. Yeah, so that's day 1 in the books. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you for day 2, 0700. Again, this is Mike with Play More Games. Thanks for watching.